Welcome to the No One Is Coming podcast, a podcast for all of the fierce and fabulous, basically superhuman single moms out there that are ready to reclaim their power, peace of mind, and not just survive, but thrive. I'm talking flourish during this season of single motherhood. Because, girl, it's hard. I know. I feel you. I see you. And you are not alone. Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of No One Is Coming. I'm your host, Janaea, and today I want to talk about this. It's a pretty amazing concept, I think. It's called selective awareness. It really can be a powerful tool that can completely transform the way that you look at the world and just kind of how you navigate life. I'm going to talk about what selective awareness is, why it even matters, and how you can use it to your benefit and make your life better. Because that's ultimately the goal, right? Isn't that the whole point? Okay, let's go ahead and get right into it. So, what is selective awareness? Basically, selective awareness is like a spotlight for your brain. It's what your brain chooses to focus on in any given situation. Like, as amazing as your brain is, because it's basically this supercomputer and it processes all this information and it does all of these things. It operates your body simultaneously without you like even doing anything. You don't tell your body to breathe. You don't tell your heart to beat. It just kind of does it, right? Your brain is just managing the whole system. Anyways, as amazing as your brain is, it has a limited capacity for like attention. So in any given moment, your brain is flooded with information that it has to process and like sift through. So here's a good example. Take a second and look around the space that you're in. Just observe the room, the car, the wherever, the gym, wherever you're at. Just take a moment and be present and look around. And look for everything in this space, or as many things as you can that you can notice that are red. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to let you look for a second. Now, I can almost guarantee that you noticed a few things that were red that you didn't pay attention to until I said, look for things that were red. It's not that they weren't already there, but you just weren't paying attention to it. Your brain didn't deem those things important until it was told that they were important and they were something that you needed to look for or pay attention to. Okay, so who cares? Why does this whole selective awareness thing even matter? A, because it's dope just to understand what your brain does. And B, no, seriously, it matters because our expectations, our biases, the experiences that we've had in the past, they all create our core belief systems personally, our personal core beliefs. And these beliefs serve as the programming to the system that tells our brain what it needs to pay attention to and those things that your brain will choose to notice. So it moves things from level 1, which is like, I know it's here, to level 2. Let's pay attention to it, right? So the level 1, like I said with the red, I'm in a room and there's a red pencil sharpener, which is why I said look for something red, because I noticed the red pencil sharpener. I was like, oh, red. That sounds good. Not a lot of red things, but that will, whatever. Anyways, there's a red pencil sharpener. Like I said before, the pencil sharpener didn't just appear when I decided to notice the pencil sharpener. But level 1 is the pencil sharpener is just in the room. Now, my brain was already aware that the pencil sharpener was in the room because it processes all this stuff when I look around and all that good jazz. But it moves it from level 1 to level 2, saying, hey, girl, you need to pay attention to this once it has direction to pay attention to something. So for me, in the moment that I mentioned something red, I was looking for something that stood out, a color, and I noticed the red pencil sharpener. I was telling my brain, hey, I need something a color that's going to stand out. I saw the red pencil sharpener, and then I said, look for something red. So that's level 2. That's the like, pay attention to the thing. Now, if you have dabbled even a little bit, like dipped a pinky toe in the pond of personal development, then you've heard the most important part in changing your life is changing your mind. And if you haven't heard it, now you have. Welcome to the club. But really, everything stems from your mindset. So if you have a negative lens in which you look at the world, then your brain is going to give you just that. It's going to give you negative experiences and negative things to notice because that's the lens in which you're using. If you have the belief that there's always opportunities, then your brain is going to pay attention to them. So the good things and the bad things are already there. The good men and the shitty ones, the good friends and the trifling ones, they all already exist in your atmosphere. They're around, just like the red pencil sharpener, already there. But what you'll notice is going to be based on what you tell your brain to focus on. So when we said red items, now the things that already existed move level 1 to level 2. You pay attention to it. Catching my drift? Is it all making sense? Is it coming together? And so the messaging that you give your brain is based on your belief system. So that's subconscious messaging. Now there's conscious messaging, like the direction of looking for something red. That's a conscious direction. You're kind of overriding your brain's autopilot of the sifting. But when you're just going on autopilot, your brain is going to sift and pay attention to based off of the things that are in your core belief. That's the stuff that's already in your subconscious mind. Now, changing your limited beliefs is a whole other topic. We can talk about that another day, but it's important for you to just understand what you're subconsciously telling your brain to pay attention to. Okay, so now let's switch gears and let's talk about the 3 ways that you can use this information, this whole idea, all that long winded stuff that I just shared about selective awareness to your benefit. How can you leverage selective awareness to upgrade your life, make it better? So, numero uno, the first thing that you can do is start your day with gratitude. I know it sounds super cheesy and super corny, but it really does work. So, I have a gratitude journal and I'll start my day with writing at least 3 things that I'm grateful for. You can't just write these short little bullet points like I'm grateful for my kids and my job and that I woke up today. Now, those can be things that you're grateful for. They should be things that you're grateful for. And they're a good starting point, but you really want to sit with them. If you're grateful for your kids, then write why you're grateful for your kids and really just sit with that and think about it. For me, my kids have truly saved me. They've saved me in more ways than one. In some of my lowest points in life, it's because of them that I was able to get up, that I was able to push forward. They were my source. They were my drive of, you got to keep going. So I'm grateful for them for that, for many other reasons, but I'm really grateful for them for that. And so you want to just sit with it and you want to really explore the things that you're grateful for and why you're grateful for them and dig into it. And you may even get a little emotional, but that's okay. That's a good thing. If you get a little emotional, that means you're doing it right. And then the next day, choose 3 different things. And what this does is it's training your brain to look for and to pay attention to that the things that are going to inspire gratitude, the things that are going to, give you that feeling of being grateful. It's where you're doing something consciously, right? To kind of start to move it into the subconscious. The more that you do things, the more that it becomes, it's repetition, repetitions become habits, and then your brain, it's all built on efficiency. So once you do things over and over and over again, it goes, okay, I get it. And it will automatically start to look for those things that you're grateful for. It'll start to look for the things that will inspire, like I said, gratitude within you. So, the next thing that you can do, or the next way that you can use selective awareness, is by being intentional about the content that you're consuming. So, a little over a year ago, I had this whole Facebook fiasco. Long story short, I fell trap. I fell into a scam. I mean, not really, but in hindsight, looking back, it was giving scam and I fell for it. But whatever, neither here nor there, doesn't matter. I ended up getting locked out of my Facebook, and my Facebook account was ultimately deleted. And as you know, Facebook and Instagram, they're connected now. So when one went, the other one followed, and I had to start a whole new account for both. And it was annoying. Like, it's annoying having to send friend requests to people. And some of the people were thinking that I was like fake, thinking it was a fake profile because they're like, I already followed Janaea. We're already friends on Facebook. Who's this person? I'm over here asking security questions and whatever. So they could believe that I am me. And then there's other people who were like, oh, you deleted me. Now you're trying to spin the block. Like, why'd you delete me? And it's like, no, that's not what happened. I didn't delete you. Facebook drama, scam, whatever. So, anyways, it was annoying. It's a nuisance having to start your social media is over. But it was also kind of like a blessing in disguise because I had a fresh start with the algorithm. I could tell it what kind of content I wanted to show up on my timeline. And I'm going to be honest, there were some people and there were some profiles that I did not follow the second time around because, frankly, some of the stuff that they posted was trash. Like, no shade, but the Shade Room did not make it. Like, I didn't follow the Shade Room's page the second time that I started my Instagram because I don't know, I just didn't want that kind of content. That's not what I wanted to tell the al- the algorithm that I wanted to have. So I didn't. Now, if there's something that for whatever reason I want to be a little messy and I want to look it up, I do fact check certain things on the Shade Room because I feel like the Shade Room be knowing, but I do not follow them because I don't want the Shade Room like stuff on my timeline. So you want to be intentional and you want to limit the exposure to like negative content or content that makes you not feel good about yourself and is kind of draining. There is stuff that can provoke what I like to call the comparison monster in you. And don't play and act like it doesn't happen to you because you're human and you're not immune to it. Most women, actually, all the women that I know, if you are on social media long enough and you're consuming certain content, eventually it can take a toll on you and it can bring out insecurities that you didn't even really know that you had, or it can drain you because the world is a whole lot smaller now with social media. So you're seeing people all over the world from all walks of life doing all of these things, and people highlight the good stuff on social media. For the most part, everyone is winning. And when you know the truth of your life and you're seeing the highlight of others, sometimes it can drain you and it can make you feel bad about yourself in certain ways. So it's important not to be, taking in a lot of the content that makes you feel that way. Instead, you want to seek out content that's going to inspire you, that's going to empower you, that's going to educate you, right? Those are the things that you want to be consuming on a regular basis because what you feed your mind is going to shape your reality. And last but not least, the third way that you can use selective awareness to benefit you is to pay attention to your self talk. What are you saying to you in your head? And what are you saying about you out loud? I used to say all the time that I don't have self control. And I would usually say this typically jokingly when I was about to blow like a diet or something, some kind of program that I was on, because I wasn't about to pass up no tacos and a margarita. Anyone who knows me knows I love my tacos and tequila. It just is what it is. And although I would say this, and like I said, it was jokingly and it was always followed by some kikis, it was still a story that I was telling about myself to myself. And when you tell yourself a story long enough, it can become a belief. And so if I allowed that to become a belief, which I did allow that to become kind of a belief for a little while. It was a pass. It served as a pass. So if I started, like a workout program and it had a diet plan or a nutrition plan and Taco Tuesday came about, it was like, well, you guys know, I'm gonna eat my tacos and I'm gonna have my margarita. So I had to start working on changing my self-talk. Because saying I have no self control is a limiting belief that I don't want to have. And B, it wasn't actually true. Like, sure, I'm going to eat me some tacos, but I do have plenty of self control. Like, I exercise self control all the time in so many other areas in my life. So instead of focusing on the one area where, yeah, it's true, I may have struggled, I can focus on the areas that I don't. So I won't say I have no self control. I started saying I do the things that I need to do when I need to do them. Because 9 times out of 10, your girl's going to eat the tacos. But the statement that I do what I need to do when I need to do them is more aligned with not just who I actually am, but it's more aligned with the beliefs that I want to solidify, the core beliefs that I want to have. And once those core beliefs are really solidified, it can bleed over into the other areas where it's not. I passed up a Taco Tuesday a time or two now, So it can help even in the areas where you may originally have been weak and that statement may not have been applicable. The more that you say it, the more that it rings true and it starts to bleed into other areas in your life. So you want to start practicing positive self-talk. That's what's going to reprogram your subconscious mind. It's at least one thing that's going to contribute to reprogramming your subconscious mind and telling your brain to start spotlighting the positive things and all of the amazing opportunities that are already there. Because they exist. Remember, they're already there. We just have to tell our brain to pay attention to them. So that is it. That is all. That's the episode. I want to encourage you to embrace the power of selective awareness in your life. If you consciously direct your focus and you pay attention, you do have the ability to bring the things and the people and the experiences that align with the life that you want, the life that you want to have. You can bring that stuff to the forefront, front and center. In today's show notes, I did put a link to a short YouTube video. It has a selective attention test. It's like less than 2 minutes long, but it's a really fun way to see your brain in action and to kind of get the concept in real time of selective attention and selective awareness. So if you do it, if you watch the video, leave a comment, send me a DM. You can message me on No One Is Coming podcast on Facebook or Instagram. You can email me at nooneiscomingpodcast@gmail.com and let me know how the test goes. Let me know what you think of it. And yeah, that's it. As always, please remember that the power to transform your life is within you. It's up to you though. You got all the stuff. You got the juice, you got the sauce, you got everything that you need, but it's up to you. No one's going to do it for you and no one is coming to save you. So you have to save yourself. Until next week, I will see you guys then. Keep shining. Thank you for tuning in to No One Is Coming. If you found value in today's episode, please subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Your support means the world to me. Until next time, remember that you are enough, you are worthy, and you are not alone. Keep shining, girl.